Hey everybody, it's Shane at Pulse Personal Training, and you might have heard about all the benefits of resistance training from like your doctor or from an article on the internet, but what is resistance training? What does that actually mean? Well, the answer is it's going to be a lot more than just weightlifting. Typically, that's what comes to mind with resistance training, but there's actually going to be multiple forms of resistance. So, you could be using things like elastic bands. Using an elastic band provides elastic resistance. The work that's required to stretch out an elastic band, the band is resisting your work. So if you're using elastic bands, that's a form of resistance training. You could also use gravity. Gravity is causing your body to be drawn toward the ground, toward the center of the earth. So things like push-ups and pull-ups and lunges, even just your body weight is enough to form resistance against your muscles. So just having gravity work against your body is a form of resistance training, and that's also going to include things like dumbbells and barbells. The fact that those have weight and that gravity is affecting them means that typically your weight training is a form of gravity resistance training. You can also have fluid. Fluid provides resistance. If a swimmer is trying to swim through the water is resisting his forward progress. There is a type of fluid resistance. There are also exercise machines that are filled with hydraulic fluid. The fluid being compressed inside of those tubes creates resistance. Your muscles are being asked to work against the resistance provided by that hydraulic fluid. And then lastly, gas can provide resistance. If you're thinking in terms of like a race car, you might have heard of drafting. They need a car in front of them to cut through the air, and that provides more efficiency. The atmosphere, just the molecules of air at certain speeds, are enough to form significant resistance against forward progress. And in the gym, you might have pneumatic machines. I've had pneumatic machines before where there are tubes that are filled with gas, and it's the compression of that gas that provides resistance. So it's not just weightlifting when we talk about resistance training. There are other forms of resistance. But basically, all of these things come down to forcing your muscles to work against something. Something has to be providing resistance. There has to be something that needs to be overcome. So whether it's elastic bands or the weight of dumbbells being pulled by gravity, whether it's hydraulic pressure or pneumatic pressure, you need something to train your muscles against that force. So why would we do resistance training? The answer is pretty simple, actually. The adaptation to that stress is our desired outcome. Essentially, we're going to use one of these forms of resistance to apply a particular type of stress to your muscles. And it is that stress that causes your muscles to adapt, whether that's a bigger muscle, a stronger muscle, whether you have to have a higher degree of neuromuscular efficiency, meaning that your brain communicates with your body more efficiently. Whether that adaptation is going to be greater bone density, that's something that's very, very important, making sure that you have strong and dense bones. Resistance training is going to stimulate the growth of bones to be more dense. Or whether your adaptation is cardiorespiratory health. If you're trying to make your heart and lungs healthy, it is still going to be resistance that provides that adaptation. So no matter what you're trying to do with resistance training, you're using stress to produce a desired outcome. I had that come up in a conversation the other day where just the idea of what is resistance training was something that a new client was having trouble with. So as fitness professionals, we may take it for granted that when we talk about the benefits of resistance training, that someone knows what we mean when we say resistance training. But to be clear, it could be any of those things. Anything that you're using to create resistance against the force of your contracting muscles is going to produce a stress that will lead to a desired outcome. And it's a personal trainer who's going to know exactly what form of resistance to use on your body to create the adaptation that you signed up for. That's what personal trainers do. So if you have any questions about what is resistance training or why you should do it, send a message to us. That's what we do, and we want to help you reach your goals. My name's Shane, and this is Pulse Personal Training. I appreciate you taking the time to watch. Thank you, and have a great day.